everybody. Is it I'm gonna bring you up on my page here. Yep, here, there you are. I'm gonna bring you down a little bit more. Just a little bit. I know it's Sunday night. We don't normally do this on a Sunday night. But here we are. And I need to get this order done for my customer. And I wanted just to be able to hop on here. And as you can see, I've already started. I still have the purple to put on it. But I wanted to kind of step you through the project. And I didn't want to be on here live for 2 hours tonight, because that's what this would have been. And we don't want that. So this is almost done. The rainbow part is almost done. So we are going to backtrack here, and I'm going to show you how to get started from the very beginning. As you can see, I have all my colors over there that I've already used to kind of show you what I have used and how much. Hey everybody, you know what? I better share this in my groups, shouldn't I? Let's see here. I'll share it in Wreath Creators, in my Christmas tree group, and where is there's my Apple Blossom and Marigold group. I'll share it in there too. So anyways, thanks everybody for hopping on with me tonight. Happy July 4th. Is this the weekend you celebrate or next weekend? Let me know in the comments below. But hey everybody. Okay, so we're going to move this to the side and we will come back to this, okay? But I'm hoping you like the new angle tonight. I figured out how to basically attach you to my ceiling. You're literally attached to my ceiling. So this way you have a much bigger area to look at, okay? So let's start with what you're going to need, okay? And we're going to break this down and show you how to make the frame for this rainbow wreath, okay? So you're going to start for what I have seen, and you might be able to use this maybe with deco mesh, maybe do it on a smaller scale. Let me know if you do and send me a picture. But this is an 18-inch wreath frame, and I believe these came from Craft Outlet. I do not think that these are the ones from Hobby Lobby, because as you can see, it's pretty wide, and you kind of want that for this wreath, okay? And then I have just a Dollar Tree wreath frame, okay? So let's get started and get these cut down. So I'm gonna sit down, and if you can't hear me, will you guys tell me, because I'm farther from the camera and I want to make sure that you guys can hear me tonight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look, and you're really using more than half of this wreath frame, okay? So I want these brackets to be in my wreath frame. So I'm going to cut all of these brackets right now on this side, okay? So you really need good wire cutters for this part, okay? So if this is a little loud, I apologize. But this is how these do work really well. I got these from Amazon years ago. Ugh. Sorry. Of course, it's going to give me a hard time. Maybe it's, yeah, I had it in both sections there. Earlier today, I was not paying attention, and I cut it at the wrong spot. I cut it over there, and I had to pretty much waste a whole 18-inch. So I'm going to go right across here, but as you can see, this will be a smaller portion. It's not half, it's more than half, okay? So, turn this around. We're going to cut this. Again, make sure, this would be a good job for somebody stronger. If you're not really strong, you know, have a man do it if he can do it. You know, there's some things that they can be helpful at. Okay, that's a better angle. Okay, perfect. So that's pretty much trash, unless, I don't know, you could make another rainbow, but you're going to have a much smaller inside to that. So I'm going to put that to the side. So now we need to take our 14-inch, and let me move these out of the way. So am I making sense here? Do you guys like this angle? Do you like it a little bit higher? Just let me know. Hey, Miss Melissa. Hey, Rosie. Hey Trish. Okay, so now I want to see, now with this frame, we're going to have one section that's not going to have a bar, but I'm going to line up with the bar here, okay? So as you can see, I can put a bar over here, but of course it doesn't line up right here. That's okay. We're going to make that work. So I'm going to just make these cuts lined up with what I already did. Okay, and then I already know that I want to do it on this bar. Cut it. Be very careful that you don't cut yourself, because okay, so again, let me see. Did we do, I guess you could make a smaller frame, a smaller rainbow out of the two smaller parts. So if you want to keep it and make a smaller rainbow, you could. So now we're going to put them overlapping, and then we're going to take our zip ties and we're going to connect it all the way through. We're going to take just these, man, those are mixed up. These 3 4-inch zip ties. If you have an Ollie's, I know that's kind of a regional thing. If you have an Ollie's near you, we do. It's a bargain place. They sell 100, a pack of 100 of these for $1 or 99 cents. So that's what I get. Or you can order them from Amazon. I've ordered them from, hi Aunt Wyvetta. I've ordered them from, eBay. eBay, sometimes I get really good deals. Sometimes I get some zip ties and I'm just like, ugh, such a waste of money. So it's kind of hit or miss. I know that Harbor Freight sells them too, but I don't get over there very much. So, okay, so now we're going to just cut all these off. And at this point, you could add a few more if you want, okay? But we're going to just show you how to get it started. And as you can see, we now have a rainbow wreath, okay? That is your form. And then we're going to show you how to do the clouds in a little bit. But at this point, before I forget, I need to grab my felt. This is the point where you want to take a piece of felt, and I just cut out a big old piece here. And you're going to want to trace this, okay? You know what? I'm going to use less felt this way. If I do this. This is what I do to cover all the backs of all of my wreath frames. So I'm just going to trace this around so that I can, after I'm done with it, I can attach this to the back of the frame. Okay? So I will cut that out in a little bit. I won't make you sit through that, but that's just, this is an odd frame. It's a customized frame. So I didn't want you to forget that step. So as you can see, I started, now how much poly burlap? We're going to use 10-inch rolls of poly burlap tonight. And everything I use is 10-inch poly burlap. This is what I thought. If you wanted to use a deco mesh, I would either use 2 10-inch of the deco mesh layered on top of each other, or I would cut strips of the 21-inch deco mesh and I would fold it over so that it would like kind of make the 10-inch, but it would give you a double thickness. And I say that because you would be attaching deco mesh forever on this. And because it's so see-through, you would want something a little bit more, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for, guys? Hardy? I don't know. Hi, everybody. I appreciate you hopping on. I will upload this live to my YouTube channel. So you're going to just, as you can see, I just gathered that. And I'm going to take it, and I'm going to try to put this up a little bit higher, and I'm going to go underneath. Red is our first color. That's always the first color of the rainbow, okay? So we're going to put this underneath that bracket, and I'm going to take a zip tie and just connect it. Okay, and this is our starting point. So this was a whole roll. I did the other wreath and I did use a whole roll. This is about what you have left. Now, the more you come inside your wreath, the less materials you're going to need. So you're going to need quite a bit of this, but as I said, by the time you get to the purple, you're not going to use a whole lot of purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to put my hand underneath the mesh, the poly burlap, and I'm going to go to the tip of my forefinger here, and I'm going to go underneath. And that's about how much you're going to need, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put about 5 sections in each section. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 sections for the outer part. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to just take a zip tie, and I'm going to attach it. Watching with a cold drink. Yes, Rita, it is so hot here. I'm going to take another section, I'm going to wrap it around my hand, and that's going to be my guide of what, how much I'm going to use here. Okay, and have your, let's put these out here so we have them. You can see my little stash of zip ties. So we're just going to keep going. My little boy saw this and he's like, I want a rainbow wreath. So maybe this will be the beginnings of a rainbow wreath for him. And if you do a lot of poly burlap, this would be a good project for all the, you know how you always have a little bit left on your roll? You could do that too. So over my hand and underneath, and then that's where I'm going to take it, and I'm going to just zip tie it to the outer rim. We're doing it to this outer rim, okay? Right here. So does that make sense, everybody? So, let's see here. Okay, so you're going to do, let's do another one. Let's do 5 so you guys can see. And then we'll start an orange layer and a yellow layer. By the time you get to the yellow layer, you're probably going to want to use, like I did, I used the longer zip ties just because it was just easier to thread through. Okay, so I'm going to put this one here, and then I will show you that I have 5 of these loops. Okay, and then that way, if you use your hand as a guide, you're going to get about the same size, okay? Do you see that? And so they're going to lay back like that, guys, okay? And then you're just going to go through, and then after I did a section, I would just go through and I would clip off my zip ties. Can everybody hear me okay tonight? I have the phone, my iPhone is much higher. How do you like this angle, guys? Do you like to be able to, I figured you could see the whole thing because this is going to be a wide wreath. Okay, so we're just going to leave that. I'm just going to cut this because I'm not going to keep doing it. And if I want to finish this, I can. I can still start from there and keep going. So as you can see, we did 5 loops, okay? The next color would be orange, and you're going to do the same thing. Now, let me talk to you. See, this moved a little bit. So I'm going to put one more zip tie because we do not want this to move. Okay? So you probably needed a few more than I did. I put. So you're going to put red on this outer rim. You're going to put orange on this rim. Then you're going to put the yellow on this rim. Now, the rims where they connect, right here, these 2 rims where I connected, do not put any mesh on those whatsoever. Because if you see, can you see, let's see, we want it to go up. If you went down, it would bring an indent down into your wreath frame, and that would not be good. So we're going to do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Okay? You need, let's see, 6 colors. Is that 6 colors? Yeah, that's 6 colors. Sorry. So, now we're going to put some orange on. Sharon, we are going to finish one tonight. You're going to see the finished one tonight because I have an order and I want to get it. That's not a word. Get it done. So we're just going to take, again, we're going to take our piece and I'm going to run it through and attach it with the zip tie. And we're going to keep going. So, is it Canada Day? Happy Canada Day. I was in Canada and I just didn't attach all that, guys. I was in Canada years ago on Canada Day. Does it change every year? Is it like the first Sunday of July or something? Because I thought it was July the 5th when we were there. I'm just curious. You can comment in the comments and let me know. But happy Canada Day. We have the July 4th here on Wednesday. How did you put the wreath together? I showed that we just did that part, so you can, this will be on replay, and I cut the wreath frames. It's an 18-inch and a 14-inch, and you cut them down so that they can be zip tied together. So I'm just going to keep going like this, and as you can see, this is all there is to it, and you would just keep going along. So does that make sense? If it does, we can move on. Let me know if you got it. And then we'll just go do the purple on the other one. Once you get to the yellow part, you're going to want to use the longer zip ties. And I think I told you that too. So, always July 1st. Okay. I guess I'm remembering wrong. But I know I was in Canada on that day because everything was closed. And we were visiting and we're like, oh, finding somewhere to eat was hard. So, okay. So that gets you started. That gives you the premise. That shows you what I'm doing all the way around, okay? So at this point, I'm going to cut this off and I'm going to get the big one out and we're going to finish that one up and then we're going to work on the clouds. Because like I said, we could be here all night. But you're going to do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So you're going to end with your purple and you're going to have everything there. So let's put this down. I'm going to grab the wreath. If you're just joining us, okay, it's not really that much work. It's a little different than when I make honestly, a flower wreath. So it's kind of nice to do something different. So I'm going to flip this over, and as you can see, this is what it's going to look like, okay? You have all the zip ties. As you can see, I did not add any mesh to this where it is connected. So we have one left, okay? So we're going to start on this side where the bracket is, and then I'm going to show you how to end it over here where the bracket doesn't quite meet. And that's going to happen because that's just the way that it works, okay? So this is going to be a little bit trickier. Let's see, I'm going to take my purple, going to gather it, and then I'm going to run it through, okay? So I'm going to run it through this bottom one. Ouch. And you got to be careful where you cut the rim because you will, bother yourself or poke yourself, I should say. So, well, welcome Sharon Daniels. It's nice to have you. I try to do lives about once a week. This will probably be the only live I do for this next week, guys, because, I want to enjoy it with my family too. So, you guys have fun this week. Okay. So again, we're going to take our hand and I'm just going to wrap it around my hand once and then I'm going to connect it. Okay, so like I said, let me get my bigger zip ties out here. I get these things at Dollar Tree, these holders, and I love them. I'm going to just run my, I'm looking here, run my zip tie through, and I'm going to actually shorten this purple one just a little bit because I want to make it sure that it is consistent. And you're pretty much, oops, don't make a mess, Julie. Pretty much just gonna go through here. It's not gonna take a lot of purple. So, I'm gonna put this wreath is going to Florida. The twist ties are much neater than, you know, Connie Camp, I think when I did the first time I made this, I think I used the chenille stems, and I kind of gotten in this phase where I use the pipe cleaners so much, or not pipe cleaners, the zip ties whenever I can. You know, I know that some people can't use them, that they're hard on your hands, so you can use pipe cleaners if you want. Karen Reed, this is poly burlap, 10-inch poly burlap. But this video will be on replay, okay? So you'll get to see it. So, hi Donna. Welcome to watching one of my lives. Okay. So we're going to do this part. And this is where you kind of need the wreath frame quite large because you kind of lose the shape of it, I think. It'll all kind of run together. So, Jeannie Moore, Siva, I just see you watching, so you better say hi. When my friends hop on, it comes up in green, and I can see that you're watching. So, I went to high school with Jeannie. You had a good time? Hi, honey. So, thank you, Connie. I appreciate it. Good source for zip ties. I just said that I had, I buy the smaller ones, and I know you can't kind of see me doing this. Maybe let's do it like this. Let's see if you can see it better. I just want to make sure that, you know what, you can see me better this way. I think this is easier. You know, you always do something and then you figure out, oh, that's so much easier that way. The last time I made a rainbow wreath, oh my goodness, was over a year ago. I don't have these in my shop. I know, I need to look and make sure that looks right. Yeah, looks good. I don't have these normally in my shop to purchase. And so someone asked me, do you make a rainbow wreath? And I said, yeah, actually I do. So, I don't know, I probably should put them in my shop. This is not a cheap wreath to make, guys. So, I already have all these supplies. So I'm going to flip this over because I think we're at the end here. So, let's see. All right, I think we're just going to do one more loop here, okay? So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to show you how I attach it. Now, because there's no bracket at the end, I need to make sure that it's on this upper bracket, and I'm not really sure that you can see that. Can you guys see that if I lift it up high enough? So it's just very important that you don't attach it in such a way that it'll come right off. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to cut this, and then we're going to get started on the clouds. Okay? But you got to go back and we got to cut all these off. So I did kind of like how the ends were pointed upwards when I cut it. Let's see here. No, Donna, I don't use zip ties for all my wreaths. I normally, like with the flowers, I generally use the pipe cleaners. But whenever I can use zip ties, I do like to do that. Here, let's flip it over. And when it's on the door, we're going to, you know, it's going to come out. The red's going to come out more. Okay, who's coming downstairs? We're going to see. My dog just sensing that somebody's trying to come downstairs. I hope nobody, as in a little child, is doing that. I told him, Mama's doing the live. Stay with Daddy. So, Okay. So here we go. And then you're just going to bring it up, and you might go through here, and as you can see, I should fluff up some of the blue, some of the green. You're just going to go through and make sure you have it the way you want it. But I think it looks pretty good. Okay, so let's bring the purple up a little bit more. Just going through, give it a little bit of volume. Okay, so here is the rainbow part. Okay, guys, do you like that? That is actually, let's see here, let's measure it. That part of it is about 26 inches wide, but then when you add the clouds, it's going to make it even bigger. So I'm going to take this and we're going to set this aside. So that is finished. And then here is one of the clouds I already finished, so we're going to do the second cloud now. And then we're going to attach this, and then you have a rainbow wreath, okay? As you can see, I've cut this frame as well. So where did that frame go? Let's see, right here. Okay, so this is kind of a mess. It's going to bug me now. So I'm going to get it all out of the way. So we'll just get it out of the way. Okay, so you're going to take an 8-inch, yes, an 8-inch frame. This is an 8-inch frame. I like to purchase them from Consumer Crafts, and I probably got the 18-inch frame from Consumer Crafts, to be honest with you. I don't use 18-inch frames very often, so I've had them forever. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this frame and we're going to cut the outside and the 2 middle brackets on both sides of this. I am not going to get rid of that inside bracket, okay? We're going to leave that there. So let's do this. I think this was easiest. Yeah. Yep, there we go. That one's done, and the last one. Let's see, and it's always the hardest. Ah, got it. Okay, so this is the shape that you're going to be left with, okay? You see that? I want to make sure you can see it really good. So you need that inside piece right there. What I did before is I went and I traced it so that when I'm done, I will have the felt to go on the back of that portion of the wreath, okay? So make sure at this point, if you're making this, make sure you trace that, okay? And then that little thing came. Do you see what that did? I'm gonna kind of zip tie that, I think. Still good. See if we can make this work. I go to consumercrafts.com, and I bet you anything they will have a sale on Wednesday. They always have sales. They're really good about sales. Okay. This actually came off. It's really not going to matter. I'm just wanting to move it, and I'm wasting time. Okay, so let's get rid of that. So what you're going to do is you're going to, we're going to take pipe cleaners. Let me see, where are my pipe cleaners? I'm going to take 2 white pipe cleaners because we have to fill the whole area, and so the pipe cleaners will help us fill the area with the white poly burlap. And I got to get my finger out there. It was stuck. So I'm just gonna, there's no right or wrong. Just make them connect, okay? Nothing fancy. Nobody's gonna see this part. So just twist them, and then we're gonna start, okay? Like I said, it doesn't have to be fancy. Okay, so you got a little cross action going there. All right, where's my white? Okay, so again, we're going to use white poly burlap 10-inch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to just gather my Hi Stephanie. I'm going to gather that and I'm going to run it through like I did because I want that on the bottom. And I'm going to attach it with a zip tie. Now we can use the smaller one, so I got to find that one. And we're just going to run this through. Is it hot where you are? Because it is extremely hot here. It's unreal. I'm in Michigan, Detroit area, in the suburbs, and it's hot. So I want to make sure that I stay consistent. So I'm going to make a bubble, and I'm just going to connect it to this outside. We're going to do the outside of this frame, and we are just going to, I'm going to kind of do a section at a time. Kind of what I do. It's a little bit easier to work if you do this section and this section and this section, and I'm kind of going to go in and out. Okay, so I'm going to go, actually I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to attach it to this wreath frame, this part. And again, you can do whatever you want here. You just need looking clouds of poly burlap, or even I think it would be pretty if you did the wreath in like poly burlap, and then maybe did the wreath, the rest of the clouds in deco mesh, just to give it a different look. And you could also get the deco mesh with the snow, is it the snowdrift in it? Do you know what I'm talking about? So yeah, the weather has been, been about late 80s, early 90s, but the index is like in the 100s, and the humidity is unreal. And what's so funny is we had some really nice days last week too. So let's see here. Let's go back out here. Does this make sense what I'm doing, guys? I'm just kind of working my way in and out. So make sure that if you want to save this and use it, save it on your timeline, and then you'll have it to watch. Can you see me? I don't want to get out of your shot here. Okay, so I'm just going to attach it. Okay, I'm going to get rid of some of my zip ties here. I know this is like the boring part because it's all white and there's nothing really pretty to see come together. But this kind of tells you what, shows you what to do. And then we will attach these to the wreath and we'll be done. So that's pretty cool. I didn't want to do a 2-hour live with you, and I don't think I could hold most of you here for 2 hours. I don't know how people do that. I don't know how you do a 2-hour live. But I have little kids. So I have big kids and I have little kids. So, but the little kids have to be put to bed. So that's why 7:30 works for me. I know a later time might be better for some of you, and I apologize. So, looks like there's a conversation going on about Seattle. Hey Debbie from Virginia. So at this point I'm going to connect this one to the actual pipe cleaner in the middle. So, you know, that the pipe cleaners come in handy. It's they kind of work as a grid. And I just about knocked over my pipe cleaner box. Not good. Okay. Keep going. I'm going to keep going outwards, and I just want to make sure that this looks similar to what I already did. So, Australia, hi Jane. I love it that, I love technology. I love that social media allows so many people from across the world to connect, to be able to talk to people that you would have never ever talked to because they're in a different country, and I just find that so fascinating. I think it's neat. Like my friend Jeannie, who we live in different states and we have our own families, and we don't, you know, I haven't seen her in, oh my goodness, how long? It's probably been 20 years since I've seen Jeannie. Oh, so now I'm going to keep working my way back in, and my dog just barked. Hope nobody's coming downstairs. So if this is on YouTube, I apologize, but this is life. Let's see. He likes to guard me. He thinks that, you know, somebody's going to come and get us. And they're not. Yeah. I think he just hears somebody walking up upstairs. And I totally didn't even get the wreath frame. I'm talking about my dog, guys. So, who is everybody started working on fall stuff now? Or are you still doing some summer flowers or summer wreaths? From Glasgow, Scotland. Hi, Bernadette. So nice to have you. You love the early hours, Linda. Good. Thanks, Sherry, for sharing. Okay. There's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing, guys. I'm just, you know, putting it on each. Let's see. Is it looking the same? Is that looking the same, guys? You can tell me if it's not. I'm trying. Yes, a Boston Terrier. We had a Terrier mix growing up, and yeah. This is Riley, and he is 12, and he truly thinks that, you know, he runs the show down here. So it's pretty funny. So thank you, Laura. I'm glad you joined us from San Antonio. Debbie, I will be doing, I need to get my ducks in a row, and I need to plan that out because I do know that a lot of you are doing Christmas stuff. So we need to do that, don't we? I have a poinsettia tutorial that I did for, okay, let me see if I can remember the name of the magazine. Back in 2016, I think it was 2016. What was it called? Country Sampler Magazine. They contacted me in the spring of 2016, and they asked me to design a wreath for them for their Christmas edition, and I designed a poinsettia wreath for them. And it's actually from, if you're just catching on, I'm just zip tying poofs to my wreath frame. There's nothing special in the way I'm doing it. Just going back and forth, and we're almost done, and then we can put this all together. I know I'm losing some of you, but that's okay. You can come back and watch it. A rainbow wreath is not going to be everybody's thing, and that's okay. But I just figured if I had an order for this, that I probably should do a live for this, so that's why I'm here, guys. So that if you ever want to make a rainbow wreath, you can make an actual rainbow wreath. So gonna see, I think that's looking pretty good. Put one there, do a couple more loops here, and we will be done with this cloud. So Sonia, I am just making little loops, and I'm zip tying it to the wreath frame. I'm just making poofs. And you know what, you could do this for a regular round wreath. You could just make poofs. I'm gonna cut off some of my zip ties here. This is nothing. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over here. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to take a section, and I'm going to gather it, and we're going to zip tie it to the base of this wreath form. Okay? And that is the poofs. And you could do the same thing here with, for a round wreath, if you just wanted to do a round wreath. I think poly burlap would be nice. And again, I'm getting to the point where I need the longer zip ties. So I can't see what I'm doing now. That's what happens. You need the longer zip ties. Well, thank you, Lisa Gonzalez. I appreciate that. Something new, something different. You know, if it inspires you to make something else with different textures or materials, you know, go for it. Okay, let's see. I think we're going to do one here. I'm trying to look at these. I think that's going to be about enough. So let's see if I can poof this out enough. I might need one more here. Thank you, Barbie. Thanks, Denise. No, I just kind of, the poof is just kind of like whatever, you know, I don't know how much. That's about 10 inches, guys. And about 9 to 10 inches. I'm going to do one more. And we're going to end it right here. Okay. And I'm going to zip tie it, and then we will cut off the poly burlap. Do I twist before making the loop? No, not really. I just gather it up in my hands. I don't really twist it. It depends on which way the poly burlap is really actually laying, if I twist it or not. So I'm just cutting that off, guys. I'm going to run it underneath there. Keep it all underneath. And then, yeah, I don't think you can see the frame. I think these are pretty much, let me see, I'm going to stand up so I can see. Yeah, we can make that work, and we can even move them down a little bit. So now I'm going to take, let's see here, do that cloud. Now we're going to take, I'm going to move this out of the way. Now we got to make a space here, guys. Okay, so now we're going to take our frame, our rainbow, and we're going to flip it over. Okay, so when this hangs on the wall, this will all push forward, okay, by the wall. And what I will probably do is make a little hoop, not a hoop, a hanger for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these, I'm going to put it backwards. So let's see here. I'm going to get this handy. I got this from Amazon, and it really does cut sections of like this off really easy. So I'm just going to trim it a little bit. It's very sharp, so you have to be very careful. I don't know what the name, it says A-K-E or X, I don't know. Looks like an A, but it looks like a backwards A, I'm not really sure. Okay. Let's see here. So as you can see, if you just joined us, this is the back of the frame, how I cut out parts of the frame. So what we're going to do is we are going to connect this part and this part. I don't know if you can see, okay? I'm going to connect them with zip ties, and I'm going to take out the longer zip tie because it's just easier to work with than to try to do the smaller one. And see how many we need. We might need to do a few of these. Just wherever you can make it secure. I'm trying to put my hand through here. Did you guys like being able to see up higher tonight? Not sure if that was helpful. If it was, let me know in the comments. Okay. So, is that an end? I'm going to cut some of that off too. Okay. All right. So, I think I need one more. Just feels like it would do good if I had one more zip tie. Alright, I'm going to just run it through here. And you want to make sure that, again, on this side we're going to have to go up a little higher because we want to make sure that those brackets can connect. Okay? Cut these off. Let's flip it over and see what it looks like. Okay? What do you think? Does that look like a rainbow, guys, in the clouds? Trim it here. So I like the way that looks. Do you like it? They are very sharp, Denise, very sharp. Okay, so now let's go over here. And I do have a link for these. I'll have to share them. They're not cheap. I want to say they're $20 or $30, but honestly, they're worth it. This is actually a razor blade, and they come with like 5 more razor blades right here. And so it's definitely worth it to me. So, okay, I'm going to just trim a little bit of this. Here we go. We're making a nice big mess. Looks like a piñata, doesn't it? All the colors together. All right, let's get that out of the way because we don't want it in the cloud. Okay, so again, we're just going to run this up, and you want to get it as close as you possibly can to the frames, okay? All right, these are gonna touch. The clouds are gonna touch, guys. I can't get around that. So, all right, let's get it here. How long have we been on tonight? Does anybody know? I hope it hasn't been too long. I know, well, you know what? This is totally, I just did it in the wrong place. Here's what not to do. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not paying attention. Okay, this is what I want to attach it to, this part right here. The part that, I cut this off. Okay, it's Sunday night. It's been a long day. Alright, this is the part we want to attach it to the most. So, let's try this again. "47 minutes, that's not too bad. I try to keep, my ideal live would be like 45 minutes. Honestly, I wish I could just keep it at 45 minutes. Sometimes that's hard to do. Okay, so see how the bracket's up here? We're going to go through that bracket and connect it with this one, okay? It's very important. We don't want this to fall apart. Okay. So what I'm going to do, let's see, I think that I'm going to pull this over. When I'm done with this, I'm not going to make you sit and watch me put the felt on because that's kind of boring. And you guys have better things to do than watch that. I'm going to put the felt on. I will take a picture of it with the felt on, and that will probably take me a few minutes to do. So we have 3 zip ties there, so let's flip it over and look at it, okay? Let's see here. Yep, it's a little flattened. See, that's a big wreath. So I'm just going to go through here, and I'm going to kind of poof it up, poof up my, let's see, the cloud stuff. I will get it, I promise, I will get it. So, what do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you think you'll try it? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to see one. If you're in Wreath Creators and More, make sure you post it when you make one, okay? Because I want to see it. I think, I love the symbol of the rainbow, and I have rainbow babies, and I love them. So, anyways, if you know what a rainbow baby is, give me a heart and let me know. That's about it. I'm just going to cover the back of it, and this is one big wreath. It is from that point to this, it's 30 inches by, man, it's 24 inches this way by 30 inches this way. It is a big wreath. So, anyways, thank you everybody for hopping on tonight with me. I know this was last minute, but I wanted just to get this done and out for my customer, and so I can enjoy my week now. So, all right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight, and this will be on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being patient and listening to my live and me talking to everybody. And stay tuned for new things from Julie's Wreath Boutique. Bye-bye.